Only joking, of course. We are back, finally. No stream on Sunday. We are back today. The account is back. Wildcard or free hit is active. How are we doing, everyone? It's Thursday. We're going into game week 7. Lots to talk about. I have to wildcard or free hit. I literally have no choice. So we're going to do one of them. And obviously, just want to say as well, thanks for everyone's support. I've had so many messages and tweets and stuff this week. But I really need to put the music back on. I mean, I know some people hate the music, but it sounds a bit weird with nothing. It took that long to rig up that joke. No, other stuff took that long. But anyway, it is done now. So thanks everyone. Obviously, I had loads and loads of messages. Kind of just trying to forget about it now. Obviously, going to talk about it a lot on this stream because of the wildcard, the free hit. I'm probably siding towards wildcard. We'll talk about that. But yes, thanks to Marco for redesigning the background today to get another lovely t-shirt in the back. My team got hacked and all I got was this t-shirt. Anyway, obviously the stream, as always, is sponsored by fantasyfootballscout.co.uk. If you want to check them out, links in the description below. Check their members area out, it is brilliant. Otherwise, I'm going to play their sponsorship video and then we're going to get into the team selection. So there we go. Thanks very much, as always, to fantasyfootballscout.co.uk for sponsoring. If you haven't checked out their members area, the link's in the description. It'll take you straight through, show you all the cool stuff that they do. Make sure you check it out. So this is the team currently. I've still not wildcarded. I've still not free hit. Basically, because all the transfers are going to get cancelled out one way or another, I basically just put I basically built a wildcard team just in case I want a wildcard. So I did a whole video yesterday talking about which one was the better choice. So wildcard, I'll obviously lose value because players that I've made value on were taken out and then put back in. But I still get to keep my free hit for later on in the year. If I wildcard, I'm pretty much, as you can see, I'm pretty much going for the same team I had before, but obviously not quite as much money to put into it. But it's not the end of the world. Free hit, obviously I preserve my value, but I get my team back that I had last week, and I get one less transfer to fix it because I was going to use 2 free transfers. It's so weird about music. Just put this on a sec. Anyway, so yeah, I use the free hit, I keep the value, but the reason I'm siding with wildcard now is because, yes, I'm going to lose value, but Abraham's gone up in price. I didn't have him in my team, and he was the one I would have wanted this week. Barnes has gone down, so that's another 0.1 million off. Although I didn't get a price rise on him, 2 price rises, so that doesn't actually matter too much. Mount's gone up again, so yeah, there's a lot of reasons to potentially wildcard. Lundstrom, I'm going to lose. Basically, I don't think I can get. You'll be hurting the next time a Lundstrom Hall rolls in. Yeah, I don't think I can really justify Lundstrom unless I free hit. So I get to keep him from getting him at 4 million. I don't know if paying 4.4 million for him on a wildcard is a good enough option. So, yeah, it's tough. I think I'm going to wildcard. Obviously, my preference is to just get my team back, use 2 free transfers, bring Abraham in and Diop, and be on my merry way. But that's unfortunately not an option, so I don't want to keep dwelling on it. David, thanks very much. Much appreciated. I knew someone was going to say that, £3 for a pint where... Hey, look, get a Wetherspoons. Get a Wetherspoons, you can probably get 3 pints for that. So yeah, this is the team. Obviously, this team's very similar to my old team. I would have bought Abraham in. I've got I've got Aguero instead of Sterling, but to be honest, I'm probably going to go with Sterling. And all that means is I swap Hayden, Dendonka, whoever it might be, back to Greenwood, who's 4.4 million. So that's another player that would have gone down in my old squad, by the way. So yeah. Is Lundstram still worth it at 4.4? I mean, I just don't... I actually do have the money to have him in instead of Rico. So I could have Diop, Soyuncu and Rico, but I'm kind of conscious of using all my money. And if I want Yarmolenko instead of McGinn, which I think I do, I then can't get Lundstram as well as Rico. So Soyuncu and Diop rotate pretty nicely. So I'm probably not going to play Lundstram most weeks anyway. And because he's 4.4 million, I feel like I could possibly get him in later on if I wanted to. So it's just a 4 million thing. Obviously, he was great at 4 million. He's 4.4 now. He is the highest scoring defender in the game. So maybe that should play into my thinking. But I'm going to bench him most of the time anyway, I think. Like, I'm not going to play him in most of the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games. In the next 7 games, he has Liverpool at home, Arsenal at home, Spurs away, Man United at home, 2 away games, West Ham and Watford, and then Burnley at home. Burnley at home is probably the only one I really want to play him in. So, yeah, it's a tough one. I might still put him in. I do have the money to do it, just about. Don't let the fact that Lundstram is no longer 4 million put you off. 4.4 for the highest scoring defender playing out of position. Yeah, no, maybe you're right. I've got the money for him, so it's not a definite no. Lundstram's better than Soyuncu. I don't know. I really like Soyuncu. If I was gonna put Lundstram in, I'd probably just replace him for Diop. I mean, another way to make money as well is, I think the easiest way without severely changing the whole team is Salah to Mane. Vishnav, thanks very much. Check out the Mings Lundstram rotation. Alright, maybe I'll do that right now. Interestingly, actually, I'll be honest, one of the things, because I've just had Lundstram in my team from the start, and obviously I've not really considered getting rid of him at all, like not even once. I've not actually looked up who he rotates with, because I just assumed I'd have him anyway. So it's not a bad shout, to be honest. This is where I'm going to say, oh yeah, he rotates really well with Mings. But the thing is, I don't have to keep Soyuncu, but I feel like Soyuncu is a pretty good option. Why Soyuncu over Diop? I think it's just a lesser defender. You feel like they're going to keep clean sheets, right? Anyway, let me just check Sheffield United defence rotation with Mings. Yeah, it's okay. It's not bad. If I had Soyuncu as well. Anyway. And there rotates with Rico. Who? What made me decide against Tomori? Mostly the fact that Diop rotates better with Soyuncu than Tomori does, really. Not much more to it than that. Let's see. I try not to talk about this team the whole stream, by the way. Lundstram rotates with Rico. Oh, there you go. Maybe I get him instead of Diop. The thing is, I don't imagine I'm going to want to play Rico too many times. Leicester have kept 1 clean sheet. Chelsea have kept 0. This is how desperate we are. Yeah, I suppose... obviously, we're aiming to get some clean sheets, though, to see when the tides turn. Leicester haven't been conceding that many. I think they're right near the bottom chances. I've not looked recently. I've not looked this week. Doesn't necessarily mean they won't, start to concede, but they've conceded 34 shots. There's only 1 more than Chelsea. So Chelsea are quite low down as well. 4 more than Everton, 4 more than Man United, and only 6 more than Man City. So they haven't done that bad in terms of shots conceded in the box. Surely Son is a must on Wildcard. I mean, as always, if Son is a must, who goes to get Son in? Does Salah go? I mean, you know me, I'm not going to go without Salah or Mane. Even though I'm probably not going to captain them too much over the next few weeks. You're going to regret not getting in Son. Yeah, he could still come in, but I just... I mean, Sterling's already gone. I got Aguero. I don't think I'm ready to go with no Sterling or Aguero. Man City just too good. And the fixtures are still pretty good. KDB, Salah, Son, Mount. Yeah, no Sterling though. If you free hit, there's your turn return to the... If I free hit, I get a completely different team this week. And then next week I get my team back as it was last week, basically. But I've lost some more value. I'll only have one transfer to fix it. So, yeah, Man City after Everton. Wolves at home. Not really in great nick. Crystal Palace away. We'll see how... I know that's been a little bit of a bogey team for Man City in terms of the amount of goals they scored against them. Then Villa at home, Southampton at home. That's pretty decent. But then it's Liverpool, Chelsea. Maybe that's when you look to get rid of them. Have people lost faith in Pookie? I mean, not many people are talking about him. I think there's two reasons. One, he's just blanked again. And two, most people have him. So I guess there's not too much to talk about, right? Yeah, no, just because I'm sure... just because I'm sure this is going to keep being asked. I'm not getting anything back now. I'm not getting any transfers back. If I use free hit, it's gone. I don't get it back. If I use wildcard, it's gone. I don't get it back. Whether they can put it back or they can't, I don't know. It might be a policy decision. I'm not going to get told that. No one is, I guess. But it's done. I can't do anything about it, so I just carry on going, right? Didn't you say on an early video that not having free hit wouldn't hurt too much? It's not that it wouldn't hurt too much. It's just, I mean, Ben Crellin showed me basically what's going to happen. He thinks it's going to be easier to manage without a free hit, but doesn't mean that not having the free hit is a good thing, though, if that makes sense. That value you don't have every week. So the biggest value for the team I had before is Mount. I bought him at 6 million. He's now 6.5. Lundstrom I bought at 4. He's now 4.4. De Bruyne I bought at 9.6. He's now 9.9. Pookie, I can't remember exactly what I bought him at. 6.7 or 6.8. He's now 7.1. Pope is 4.6. He was 4.5 when I had him. I would have lost 0.1 on Digne. I've lost 0.1 on Greenwood. So, Mount's 6.6 now. Yeah, that's a good point. So, it's a lot of value. I feel like the free hit makes it more interesting now, of course. I just don't know if I want to navigate the end of the season without it, because it can be pretty good. So if I was going back to my old team, it'd basically be this team: Robertson instead of Trent, Zinchenko instead of Otamendi. I'd still have Lucas Digne instead of Diop, Lundstrom instead of Rico, Barnes instead of Abraham, and Greenwood instead of Aguero, and Sterling would be in instead. So is Matip a good choice? I mean, if you think Liverpool are going to keep clean sheets over the next few weeks, then he's a good price, yeah. Obviously, the fullbacks is really where it's at. But if you're struggling for money, Matic should be a good pick if you think they're going to keep clean sheets. They do have some toughish fixtures coming up, though. And obviously, they've only kept one clean sheet so far. Go back to your own video on pros and cons with a wildcard versus the free hit. Almost no pros with a wildcard. I mean, the pro is obviously... The biggest pro for the wildcard is that I get to keep the free hit. David, thanks very much. So how much is that free hit worth, really? And the other thing with there are a couple of other pros that I maybe forgot to mention in the video. One, the wildcard has to be used within the next X amount of weeks anyway, right? So I've got to use it within the next 13 weeks. There's nothing to say that I use the free hit, keep my team, and then won a wildcard in a few weeks anyway. There's nothing to say that won't happen. So I've got to use it. And it doesn't feel as much of a disadvantage because other people have already used theirs. People are going to use it soon enough anyway. So there's a lot to take into account. My biggest fear with the free hit is that I mess it up this week. Because I think if you go... We'll do a bit of tinkering with a free hit in a minute, maybe. I think if you free hit, you've got it feels like you have to go mega different, but going without the likes of, you could bet on Everton actually doing something against Man City and maybe not going triple Man City, but probably not for the best, right? You'd really thanks very much, Matthew. So that's it now. I've got a pint, some crisps, and a kebab on the way home. Kebab and crisps, decent night that. People are overstating the importance of good team value. The main reason it's useful is to build the right team, but you've managed this with lower team value. Yeah, and again, I will say I've said this a few times. My best season, I didn't really worry about team value, and I had much lower team value than most other people. So it's not obviously good to have lower team value, and it's frustrating because obviously I made moves early on in the season to get that team value, but it is what it is, right? You just got your first ever paycheck. Nice. It's a good feeling. Don't waste it all because it takes a little while to get your next one. Team value will haunt you the whole season, but I feel like no free hit will as well, especially when we get later on in the season. Let's see if we've got any. Is Abraham captain actually a risk? I mean, the thing with that kind of thing is it's a risk in as far that everyone else is not going to captain him. For the most part, most people are going to captain Salah, De Bruyne, Sterling, Aguero. So it's a risk in that if they go nuts and Abraham doesn't, then you may be a little bit behind. But realistically, if you think Abraham's going to do well, then it's not an issue captaining him. The risk is just other people thinking that other players would do better. Rico, Bournemouth home versus West Ham, or Loughton, Burnley away to Villa. I'd probably go for the home one there. Though I am thinking of bringing in Yarmolenko, so fingers crossed he scores. You think I've talked myself into a wild card? Yeah, I've tried to weigh it up basically. Basically, if I free hit, the team I get back next week is a team that probably needs Abraham in still and Otamendi out. I would still have Lucas Digne. Maybe it'd be worth keeping at that point. But I think I would be priced out of doing Zinchenko to a 4.5 and Abraham in. I'd have to take a hit. I'd have to take 2 hits to do that then. So I'd have to take a -8 next week to make the same moves I wanted to make this week. It's getting colder, time for the Sunday roast. So I have a roast chicken every weekend and I cook it and then I put it into lunches for work. So it's not like a proper roast, but probably no return for Sunday roast anytime soon. Stick with Barnes up front and have Sterling in midfield instead of Aguero. I think Aguero and Sterling's pretty close. I mean, I'm probably going to go back to Sterling either way. I just don't think he's done enough to suddenly warrant getting rid of him in my team for Aguero when I've been so kind of pro Sterling for so long. Yes, he missed out in the last game. You can't really count that against him, I don't think. 2 blanks. Is he going to go another 3 or 4, another 1 or 2 games blanking? Probably not. What do you think of playing Lunchroom every single game week season long? Stupid or ballsy? I don't think it's ballsy or stupid. I think it's somewhere in the middle, really. I mean, he is very cheap. Potential clean sheets, potential attacking returns. It's not the worst option. And he is, like people have pointed out, he is the top scoring defender in the game right now. I'm sure that's not going to be the case come the end of the season, but right now he's doing pretty decent. Barnes does still have some good fixtures, but again, because of the lower team value now, I can't get him up front and have Sterling. So McGinn, Yarmolenko, they're all a bit cheaper than Barnes. Yeah, so that's it. So next week, I wonder if I can show you my previous team. Hang on a sec. I guess I can, right? Because I can just go. Yeah. So this is my team before. I'll show it on a different week because, when I bench Pookie, let's not. It's been a bad few weeks, all right. This is my team before. So this is what I would be going back to if I free hit. So are there any issues? Greenwood's gone down in price. Probably not the end of the world. Barnes, let's see what he does this week. He's not been in great form the last couple of games, but it has only been a couple of games. Robertson instead of Trent. Lucas Digne still in. So I would basically be doing Zinchenko out, Greenwood out to try and get Abraham in. Still going to want him next week, and then Lucas Digne to whatever price, probably Otamendi to afford that. So for a -8, basically, it's not the end of the world. McGinn is the GOAT. I don't know if he's that good, is he? What's my take on Kante's return for Chelsea? I think it's good all round for Chelsea players. I think obviously you're not bringing him in for points, but everyone around him should be improved by him being in the team. Free hit means you could get Spurs and Leicester boys in while having Digne back for better games after City. Yeah, exactly, yeah. A lot of people captaining Son this week. Daniel James not going near Man United players. It's not time for polls yet. There are 4 polls if you want to go and vote on them. Top right corner, click that little eye as always. Vardy looks a good pick for this week. I mean, it is Newcastle though. I don't know if I go nuts on Leicester this week. Not necessarily the easiest team to break down. Let's hang on. How do I do this? Let's do some tinkering, right, for a free hit team. So, who in Norwich playing? What's my thoughts on Salah? Game weeks 9 to 12. Get rid. Yeah, so I did something similar last year. I've already spoken about this when they had 3 top 6 sides in 4, and he absolutely smashed it. Man United, I don't know what to make of them. I thought they were looking okay defensively. Maybe not after that West Ham game. Spurs, it's a home game. Villa's a good game. And then Man City, I mean, who knows what that'd be like. I think that might be quite tight because it's so early in the season still. But again, Man City are behind, so maybe they're going to see that as a way to try and gain points on Liverpool and maybe go all out attack. So that could be an open game. So I think it's fine to get rid of him if you think he's not going to get points in these games. But I just think he's one of those players that absolutely could still, even if it's just penalties or whatever. You get the second wildcard after Christmas. So free hit team. I've got to keep De Bruyne, right? See, the thing you kind of want to do is not have Liverpool players against Sheffield United, but you've got to, surely. Absolutely have to. I'd tell you, if I was free hitting, I'd probably do this. I'd probably punt on Mendy. Yeah, Mendy for sure. I've got to keep Mount and Abraham because I think that's a good fixture for Chelsea. I'm kind of doing this on the fly. Maybe Vardy. Sterling played midweek, but still go for him, I think. Son, where are you at? Where are you at? Son is in. Ricardo Pereira. I see people saying about. Let's have a look. See how this looks first. Can we trust someone with the armband this week? I mean, if he plays, he's going to score points, you'd think, for the most part. Trust? I guess only you can say whether you trust him to do well. Plus 1.2 million over 31 weeks, or potentially one better week. Yeah, that's a good point. It's a good point. It's going to cost me 8 points as well, though, next week to fix the team, essentially. Yeah, this is getting pricey very quickly. Yeah, I'm going to put together the free hit team now just to see how bad it gets. Oh yeah, I don't get. This is the thing. I can't even use the value I had to make the team because everyone's so expensive. Let me put in some cheapies for now, just to see how much it comes out at. Hanley and Simpson, great picks. 6.9 million. Yeah, see, we have to make some. Changes. Damn. Yeah, so you can't have all three of these. So I guess you get rid of Salah, but do I really want to do that? Or it could be an option. Yeah, I don't think he played midweek, right? Did they even play midweek? Yeah, they lost, didn't they? See, if I'm free hitting, I really want to take punts, so I want to go for Alonso. So one of the midfielders has to go. Marcus Alonso, 6.2. I mean, it is pricey. So I think you have to do something like this. Not much of a differential for a free hit. Yeah, exactly. Well, kind of is in defence. It is versus my team, do you know what I mean? It doesn't necessarily have to be fully differential. He never scores. I don't know about all this never scores. Free hit value and then wildcard. I don't like that, no. Just because that doesn't feel like a good way of using the chips. I think I'd rather just tank the value and use the wildcard now. Jimenez against Watford. Woeful Watford. Not a bad shout. A Wolves going to be good though. I just think Kane would cost too much. Jimenez is not a bad shout. He's gone down in price. Like, imagine that last year. Only got 2 goals though, and that was a few weeks ago now. Thanks very much, Themba. Yeah, Vardy would be a nice fit, but again, he's quite expensive. Let's put hang on a second. Who is the cheapest midfielder? Is there anyone below 4.5 yet? Oh yeah, we've got some 4.4s. Oh, we got a 4.3. Here we go. El Neni to the rescue. Yeah, Pepe. I mean, Arsenal is not gonna put any Arsenal players in. I don't think, apart from him. Yarmolenko could be an option. Madness to wildcard your team. I must admit, I don't know. I'm quite surprised. I would say, without going to count up all the comments on the latest video, I think free hit is winning. We'll see on the poll tonight, I guess. I think free hit, way more people were pro that basically, which I find that interesting, to be honest. I'm surprised it's that high. The thing is, as well, when people say free hit is just one game week, it's not just one game week. It's all the other game weeks you have to change your strategy around because you don't have the free hit. So the free hit would be used in a blank game week when you can basically just get rid of all those players you want for the other weeks because they don't play in that week. You free hit, you get the blank players, and then you get your team back. Whereas if you don't have that free hit, you have to manage both the game weeks where those players are playing and also have a set of blank game week players as well. So it's not as simple as you've lost the value for the whole season. The free hit is just for one game week. It's not just for one game week. It changes your whole strategy at the end of the season. Free hit's probably worth 20-ish points. I think saying how much the free hit is worth is pretty difficult to actually say, because it does change your thinking over a good few game weeks. Mendy or Otamendi. I mean, Otamendi's safe. He's definitely going to play. Mendy, we just don't know if he's going to be rotated a bit, obviously to get his fitness up. You got Soyuncu first bench spot if Mendy doesn't play. Well, I mean, Soyuncu's a pretty damn good first bench spot, so you could take the risk. It's really up to you though, because I think there's a good chance that Mendy will start playing week in, week out, but we just don't know. They've got Angelino. Don't know what's going on with Zinchenko. Did you see that Abraham is second place in most captain player on Scout this weekend? Really? Am I surprised about that? Possibly a little bit surprised. If I can make up another 0.2 million, could get Wilson. Wilson against West Ham. Although West Ham, I've just got 3 clean sheets in a row. So I probably wouldn't go for Pope because he's got an away game. So probably Heaton. He hasn't gone up in price, surely. Surely, it says. Aurier an option for sure. Is there any 3.9 million defenders yet? Damn, there isn't. Gonna lose the chip either way, so I'd use the free hit. Yeah, I mean, we can go back and forth on this all night, and I probably won't make my mind up. Alonso too much for a nostalgia pick, doesn't have. I know, but this is just a free hit team, right? This isn't a wildcard team, so it's a 1 week punt. Although, I guess I don't want to take too many punts because my bench is going to be no good the way this is looking, right? At this rate, use neither. Yeah, maybe I just take the 0.6, start with 0. You get another wildcard and you don't get a free. Yeah, for sure. Reece James, yeah, no guarantee he's going to start though, for sure. Yeah, if it does feel like this should have a lesser defender. I guess given that Chelsea haven't kept any clean sheets, you can probably go without him. Here we go. Now we're talking. Boom. 3-4-3. 1 Liverpool player. They'll absolutely smash Sheffield United now. Lundstram will probably score a hat-trick. KDB, I mean, he's been so consistent. He seems like a perfectly fine captain. With Everton, though, I think that's an interesting one because they have been shipping goals. I think they've conceded like 2 in the last few game weeks, each game. But I mean, they're not an awful side. They could suddenly, I mean, they're not probably going to turn it around against Man City and win the game or anything, but they could keep them to a low amount of goals. Build the free hit team around Aguero. I mean, if I build it around Aguero, I basically just swap Sterling for whoever. Adrian in, I don't know, against Sheffield United. I think they could score, you know. They're at home. Villa against Burnley, job done. That's the type of game that Heaton gets clean sheet in. Can you explain why you do a free hit for new people to the game? But basically, if you free hit, you get a new team for the week, and then you get your old team back, and it cancels all the transfers. So I wouldn't lose all the points that whoever hacked me got me. Midfield still looks a bit template. Yeah, but you don't just. I don't know. I don't buy this. You have to go full differential just because you're free hitting. You still want to score points, right? If you think De Bruyne and Sterling are going to score big points, you get them in. I mean, compared to my current team, the whole strike force is different. Son is different. Trent's different. Pereira's different. Mendy's different. So it's not like the whole thing's not the same. De Bruyne and Sterling and Mount are really the big three. I haven't activated the wildcard yet. There's no point in me activating until I decide what to do because I can just make unlimited transfers now. It doesn't really matter. Do a Planet FPL and get triple Liverpool defence. I do like that idea of going all in on one defence and just hoping for the best. But the carnage, if it doesn't work out, that would hurt. Am I doing a deadline stream? No, definitely not actually this week. Any words for the person that hacked you? Not really. Hope they're having a great life. I feel like someone who does that must be leading a pretty sad life, so I'm sure they've got enough problems without hearing from me. Will Martial play against Arsenal Monday? I don't know. We might get word from Solskjaer. There's loads of press conferences tomorrow, so we'll see them. What was the secret? They made all the transfers in like 2 minutes. It was like in 1:38. I mean, they were up at 1:38 a.m. hacking my account. They might not have been from the UK, of course. 1:30 a.m., 1:39 a.m. They just made like 90 transfers and job done. How are you able to do unlimited transfers? I mean, anyone can make unlimited transfers until they wildcard, but obviously I'll take all the points hits if I don't use the wildcard. Mane is still flat. I think Mane is going to be fine, to be honest. Why not Pope? Because this is just this is a free hit team, not a wildcard team. FPL are not going to restore my account to how it was. That is job done, basically. Yeah, Greenwood could really actually get a start this week, but it really does depend on Martial. If Martial's fit, I think he just goes up front again. I mean, the long-term wildcard for me would be what I had on the screen up until this point, to be honest. That's the kind of thing I would go for. Ben, the plan is to keep thinking it over until... I mean, I can't actually do anything on Saturday morning, so this has to be done on Friday. So I've got to decide by then. I'm probably going to wildcard. Yeah. That's what I'm probably going to do. Chef, I don't know, because obviously his season's kind of done because the transfers went through. Neil, I don't know actually. I spoke to him initially when we first got our teams back, and kind of he was thinking the same as me, that free hit seemed like the best way to do it because we liked our teams pre-hack, but we also want the free hit later on in the season. I'll do the polls in another few minutes. If you haven't already voted, click on the top right hand corner and go for that. I originally thought free hit, but now I think wildcard. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, there's good options for both. I don't think there's a definitive answer. You know, I could wildcard and then in a couple of weeks have so many injuries that I need a wildcard and I'll regret that I used it. But I can't. I'm trying not to think like that. I just have to, you know, what's done is done, and just go from there. Is free hit really worth as many points as you think? I really think these things are actually super difficult to kind of put a number on, because the thing with FPL is once you make one decision, it affects all your other decisions, right? So whether I wildcard or free hit now, that's going to affect the decisions for weeks to come. So I can't, even at the end of the season, I can't say I made the right or wrong decision. Because if I free hit this week, my decision next week is different to whether I wildcard this week. And then at the end of the season, if I've got the free hit, I play differently. And I'll never know what I would have done if I didn't have the free hit. And you could maybe track it and say, here's what I would have done instead. But I don't know. It's like, I feel like that's deal or no deal, and like it's just pointless when they go, what would you have done anyway? Well, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to play the same now because it doesn't matter. It's already done. So I do think it's hard to track. I mean, the free hit in a single week, again, might not be worth a huge amount, but it allows you to basically not plan in the other weeks. If that makes sense. Template is the most annoying thing about FPL. Yeah, I mean, there's always going to be template players. Take a screenshot of this free hit team. Yeah, but again, like, then that's just 1 week. What would I have done after that? Has my rank aim changed? Not really, because this is why I think wildcard I'm favouring. Right? When you ask me a question like that, has my rank aim changed? If I wildcard this week, then I feel like my rank aim should be exactly the same as it was last week, because I'm in exactly the same position. I've got a team that I'm happy with. I should be able to play out the season with a free hit. If I free hit and it goes wrong this week, and then I don't have it later on in the season, it all goes wrong, then I think I have to readjust my rank aims as such, if that makes sense. Can people donate one free transfer to you? That would be lovely, honestly. One Chelsea defender, which one? I'd probably just go to Tomori because you don't know. You don't really know if he's 100% nailed, but Rudiger's not back. Alonso's probably going to be short term. Azpilicueta, he'll probably keep starting, but Reece James did okay midweek, and they might give him some more game time in the league. So I don't think there is necessarily a nailed on one. Rudiger will be nailed on when he's back, but who knows when that is. Plus, he's quite expensive. So I think probably Tomori and hope he keeps his place. Stop second guessing yourself. Just wildcard or free hit. Robert, I will do that, but which one should I do? Ceballos is an option long term. I mean, if he starts getting game time, maybe, but he hasn't been doing that, so I don't think. I don't think. That's really. I don't think he's really an option. The hack is great in a way. If you have an average season, you have something to blame on. I don't want to do that though. I don't want to use it as an excuse, even though I probably will over and over again. I'm trying not to do that though. I don't want to finish 100k. I want to finish higher than that. I think another way of looking at it in like a pessimistic way or a negative way is if I free hit now, I don't have at the end, and it is because there could be other double game weeks we're not expecting because of weather or whatever. If it becomes a hell of a lot harder to manage the end of the season without a free hit, then I will be thinking more about this. Whereas if I keep it, if I keep the free hit and I don't have that excuse in the back of my mind, then I just play the end of the season like I would any other season. So I think that's maybe a negative way of looking at it, but if I use it now and I get to the end of the season, it's really tough. That's just going to be really frustrating basically for weeks. Because every decision I'll have to worry about the blanks, basically. So I'm probably going to wildcard. I'm not going to hit the button now, but that's probably what I'm going to do. So Richard, hope that helps. I'll continue second guessing myself in my spare time. Yanks, how's it going? Thanks very much. Okay, we'll do the polls now because I said we would do them and I haven't done them. The loss in value is not irrelevant, but it probably isn't as bad as people think it is. Like, okay, I've got a lot of money tied up in Mount. I've got to buy him for 6.5 million. But if he gets injured, everyone's going to sell him, and then suddenly maybe I get a cheaper player instead or whatever. So it probably isn't as bad as people think it is. Yeah, exactly. It's not like these players are going to be the only players we have for the rest of the season. I mean, granted, the big ones, Salah, Sterling, etc., are probably not going to be, but the main difference, the biggest difference between my old team and my wildcard team is having like a 6.1 million midfielder instead of Barnes. That's pretty much the only difference, I think. And having Otamendi instead of Lucas Digne. It's not the end of the world. It's not great, but it's not the end of the world. Anyway, polls. You wasted your free hit. How much would this affect you? It wouldn't. If we look at the stream chat, it wouldn't. Don't worry about it. Okay. Your game week. Oh, that was loud. Sorry. Your game week 7 captain. Oof. So this is interesting. I mean, this is genuinely interesting, right? So Sterling, 29%. So he's the highest. Salah or Mane, I put them together, 22%. Aguero, only 12%. Obviously, this is who is your captain, not who's the best. So a lot of people maybe don't own Aguero. De Bruyne, only 6%. And 29% are going for someone else. So I'm guessing that's Son, or more importantly, Abraham. So that is, I'm surprised, to be honest, that it's that high. So the same amount of people who are going for Sterling are going for someone who's not Salah, Mane, Aguero, or De Bruyne. So that is a lot of Abraham. Now I get that more people have him, that's why, but that's why I do your captain instead. So you get a good idea of what people are actually doing, not what they... if I think Son's the best, that's great, but I don't have him, so there's nothing to worry about there. I'm not gonna captain him. Aubameyang maybe against Man United. I still think that'll put people off, even though Man United have been poor. Is it time to remove Lucas Digne? 74%. 74. Saying time to remove him. 26% saying keep him. Which should I use? 69% going wildcard. I mean, to be fair, that poll has probably been influenced by me basically saying I'm going to wildcard. And 31% saying free hit. Maybe you guys will be right. Realistically, we'll never know. The beauty of FPL. And how many transfers have you made this week? 32% of you have made 2. Maybe quite a few. Maybe a few hits. Maybe a few people saved it up. 27% have made 1. 16% have made 3. Apparently 14% of you have made 90 plus. It really should just be me, or Neil. And 55 of you, 10% have made 0. So there you go. I don't think I can keep doing the 8. Look, I'm not going to free hit, I don't think. Long stream just to say that. A few questions I'd be interested in getting opinions of, though. So, 1. Trent, definitely in ahead of Robertson, right? Yes? No? 2. Aguero or Sterling. And 3... Gonna be honest, I've forgotten 3. 3 is Pope or a different 4.5 million keeper. He obviously Pope's 4.6, but I can afford him. Is Pope still the best cheap goalie? Obviously you got, I think it's let me have a look who's up there. You've got, what is it? Yeah, Gunn 4.5, Ryan's 4.6. Wasn't Ryan supposed to be dropping in price, and now he's 4.6? Or Henderson 4.5. We're not going to get him. So let's have a look. So Pope, Aguero. Aguero is an interesting one to me because he's being rested in the league and in Europe, and I think that's probably going to continue. Similarly to last year, we saw Jesus get a lot of minutes in those competitions, and Aguero just to focus on the league. So that does interest me, and his stats are pretty good. I need to check because someone tweeted me, and I really can't remember who it was. Let me check because I always do this. I see tweets and think, oh, that's a good point. Oh, it was the guy with a Simpsons avatar. Oh yeah, Stats Dan, FPL Stats Dan. He said a lot of his expected goals, Aguero that is, was against Watford, and obviously they won 8-0 and Sterling didn't get to play in that game. So I'm going to take Watford out and just check their stats in the games they played together. But I don't see Sterling getting too many more rests in the coming up fixtures. So, given that he's the midfielder, I might just still go for him. Who's my captain this week? Could I go for Abraham? He's at home. That's what tempts me. Could the Everton game be a red herring? Why is double Liverpool attack not an option? I mean, what do I do though? How do I get Firmino in? I suppose. Look at Aguero's points from Gameweek 1 to 6. Yeah, I mean, they've been okay, haven't they? They've been alright. How many points has he scored? 55. De Bruyne has scored 54. I mean, Sterling has had 2 blanks and a rest. Hang on, let me have a look at this. Okay, Aguero, to be fair, he scored in the first game and didn't even play. He only played 21 minutes. Sterling's had a rest and 2 blanks, and he's still on 39. So, obviously, the thing with Sterling is that hat-trick is obviously padding him up a bit. And Aguero can't be far off a hat-trick, you'd imagine. I don't know. I really don't know. One thing that's making me think about Sterling now is Greenwood maybe is close to a start. He's only 4.4 million now. So that extra 0.1. The biggest question... Let me check this a sec. Let me do a little bit more tinkering live here. Also got 0.5. Now, why do I want this money for? Maybe I don't need this money. Maybe I do not need... I guess I get lunch. I think I do get lunch. I think people are making a good point. Even at 4.4 million, he's a midfielder, for Christ's sake. This is what I would be telling someone else. He is a midfielder, for Christ's sake. Sort it out. Oh yeah, this is the issue. This is the issue. I don't think I'm going to stick with McGinn. I think I'm going to take a punt on Yarmolenko. So I need to find 0.1 million. Now, there's the easiest ways to do that. There's two ways. Is Pope to a 4.5. Jeez, I'm wobbling around a bit. Pope to a 4.5. Or Aguero to Sterling and Hayden to Greenwood. I could just do D up to Lundstrom, yeah. D up to Rico, etc. Yeah. I think I have to. I think you're alright, to be honest. I think I have to keep Lundstrom. Trent to Robertson could be away. I think at this point I have said that Trent is the better option, but I'm not going to make the transfer so many times that I have to go for him. So I'm going to go for Trent 100%, unless he gets injured. I know Robertson has looked good. Oh, I hate this. I'm trying to be positive. I hate this. Hayden to a 4.4. Doesn't leave me with much on the bench. I mean, it does. It leaves me with two defenders that are definitely going to play every week. I think that's enough, right? Diop out. I'll tell you what I need to do. I need to get a spreadsheet out for defenders and figure out how often I'm going to play Diop, Soyuncu or Lundstrom, and see how many weeks I'm left with a really awful fixture. Because not necessarily want to rotate. You know, it has to be the perfect home game every week. But I don't want to be lumbered with a couple of weeks where I've got awful fixtures. So I'm going to look at that. And obviously, I do have transfers after this, right? Do you not want to cover Sterling's effective ownership? Yeah, but Aguero's 30% owned as well. Sterling's only about 9% more. Could I shift Soyuncu? I don't know. Some people are like down on Soyuncu. I think I'm definitely having him. I just think Newcastle at home, Burnley at home soon. Now, to be fair, outside of that, there might not be a huge amount of fixtures I need him for, but I think he's a pretty good idea. I think he's a pretty good option. Just go for McGinn. Burnley at home, Norwich away, Brighton at home. I mean, he's got 3 good fixtures, and then it gets pretty ugly. Man City away, Liverpool at home. Next 3 are good, though. Granted. Yarmolenko, though, he's the one I want. They got Bournemouth away, Crystal Palace at home, Everton away, Sheffield United at home, Newcastle at home. Their next 5 are pretty decent. Soyuncu does not have attacking returns. Did you not see that header where he tried to put it on goal, accidentally headed it backwards and got an assist for it? That is genius. How about Tamori? Yeah, I am a bit of a fan of him. Then Donker's on the verge of dropping to 4.4. Oof, yeah, I saw that. That's why I have Hayden in, actually. I have Hayden in because of that. Aurier, that's a nice shout. Could get Aurier instead of Soyuncu. Diop to Rico. Something like that. How often do we think... Oh, how long do we think he's going to keep his place, though? He got rested again midweek, didn't he? Could be a really nice option. You're playing 3-4-3. No, absolutely. I'm not bothered about the third. I just want to... If I have 2 defenders that play, I don't mind about the midfielder or attacker. Midfield is capped at 4.5. You can't drop low. That's not true. I think we had 4 million midfielders last year. And we already have midfielders that are 4.3. So I could just stick out on Enian. Just stick out on Enian and be done with it. Is there any 4.4s right now? Let me see. Nakamba. Wow, okay. So there's a guy called Nakamba. Plays for Aston Villa. I didn't know. Not gonna lie, I didn't know. Apparently he's played 80 minutes in the last 2 games. Where's he come from? McCarthy, Crystal Palace. Ain't getting many many minutes. But there are some 4.4s if I just want to absolutely... Oh, Chong at Man United. He's going to be rubbish, isn't he? Big Ricey, you've basically missed 57 minutes of me umming and ahhing over free hit wildcard. I'm probably going to go wildcard. So what I will say is, when I say we had midfielders for 4 million, they put midfielders in the game in January at 4 million. They didn't drop to 4 million. You are correct. It's not to say it can't happen, but it probably wouldn't. Take someone else, then have Dendonka. Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this team. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to wildcard. I'm going to take the value hit. I'm going to play it for the rest of the season, see what happens. I mean, as soon as someone like Salah or Aguero or De Bruyne or Sterling gets injured, if it could happen, if it happens, then suddenly there's a lot of value to play with, potentially, right? So it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. I'm going to think, the few things I'm going to think about, Aguero or Sterling, obviously. I need to check price rises tonight as well. Aguero, Sterling, Son. Should I just get Son in? I mean, it's a bit of a differential. I feel like in some ways I've kind of like the part of me that usually plays the part of me that plays FPL now and is very safe. I hate the word safe, but you know what I mean. The way that I manage my team, part of me thinks just go for the safe wild card. You know, nothing's really changed then apart from a bit of value loss. You're just starting from Gameweek 7, exactly what you would have done anyway. The other part of me thinks you could be a bit different. You could get Son in, you could drop Salah and just go for it and hope for the best. And just use the excuse that you got hacked. So, we'll see. Play a little bit of a different style. I don't know if I've still got it in me. I would have done that years ago. Yeah, so there was... I can't remember who the midfielders were. I think one of them played for Fulham. But there was definitely 2 4 million... I'm sure it was 2 4 million midfielders. Last time you said you didn't know Williams, he scored against Liverpool. I'm going to go... Where are all the Aston Villa fans at? Come on. I don't know everyone from every squad. Who the hell is Nakamba and why has he played the last 2 games? He got 3 points and 2 points. He looks like an absolute bargain. Must have. Only 1% owned. I can absolutely still do it. I can absolutely still have a good rank. A little bit of team value. I mean, someone messaged me. I think it was Sean Tobin. I think he watched my video. And I think he put together the wildcard team that I had. And he said he didn't... basically, he couldn't... I think he said he couldn't afford... Oh, it's marvellous. Okay. Yes, sorry, I didn't read the name. What an idiot. I don't think he could afford my wildcard team. And he's not been hacked. So, you know, there's people that have had Sigurdsson, etc. and who've dropped value, tanked value, and who are going to be in a similar position as me anyway. So, I'm going to wildcard. Nothing's going to change my mind over that. Look, we spent an hour on this. Decision made. Thanks for sticking with it. Played instead of Douglas Luiz. Okay, fair enough. How good has the stream been? I mean, to be honest, it's a lot of and ahhing. It's probably pretty rubbish. I apologise. We'll be back to normal next week. Next week's streams will consist of... I wish I free hit. I can't believe all those players are injured and I don't have a wildcard. Exactly, Big Ricey. Big Ricey's talking my language. Free pass this season. If it all goes wrong, I've got the hack to hide behind. If I do well, it's against all odds story. And I can play against all odds by Mariah Carey and Westloaf. Let's okay, we're tinkering now. We're tinkering. I don't know how much longer I'm going to stream for, but let's do a bit of tinkering, right? So if I put Son in, super Son. I mean, it doesn't have to be instead of Salah. So if I look at these are Liverpool's fixtures, right? Salah could easily get great points in these games, and the thing is, if I don't have Mane or Salah, then I don't watch another Liverpool game all season probably, or until I get one of them back. Now here, you'd probably want them back, I guess. Right? Now, does that coincide, Game Week 13, does that coincide with Son's fixtures getting worse? Not really. So, I mean, if he's smashing it, I guess you keep him. But Southampton, Brighton, Watford, they look good right now. But then Liverpool and Everton away. Who knows what Everton will be like at the time. Sheffield United at home. So Sun's fixtures are pretty good. I don't think I have it in me. I don't drop Pookie for Firmino. Maybe. Can just about afford that, I think. That smacks though of coverage. You know, you're trying to cover Salah's points by getting Firmino. And don't get me wrong, Firmino has been brilliant this year so far. Like, he really has. But will he keep that up? We know that he's been streaky before. We know that Mane and Salah are super consistent. City don't fear anyone. Absolutely. It is my decision. No, I get that. But, like, one of the things I always try and do on the stream is get other people's opinions, because I'm not going to try and sit here and, you know, I don't know everything. And you guys, you always have good ideas that I've not even thought of, to be honest. So I want to get your opinions as well. It doesn't mean I'm necessarily going to go over it. You know, I've kind of got my own way of playing and stuff, but that team looks a bit weak. But I've got to get over the fact that Aguero and Firmino up front, that's where the money is. I mean, Firmino has been brilliant, and I said it a few weeks ago. Like, he looks. It's weird because I feel like he looks more confident. Why is my chat frozen? Hang on a sec. I feel like he looks more confident, but it's not like he wasn't anyway. It's not like he's had a bad run of games or a bad, you know, season or anything like that. So I don't know what it is. Otamendi to Mendy. Not sure about that. I mean, Pookie's probably not a difficult one. We shouldn't really count him out just because. Oh yeah, where was I getting? Oh yeah, I'm going to do 4.4. I think that's it, lads. I think that's my team. I think that's what I'm going to finish on. I'm not going to say definitely that's what I'm going to finish on, but that's what I think I'll finish on. I'll get a 4.4 in instead of Hayden. I'm going to hope that then Donker goes down in price. I'm going to check statistics now. Emil gets it. What about Serge Aurier? What about him? You know? What about him? What about Serge Aurier? Who is Serge Aurier? Alright, Serge Aurier. Okay, it's a good option. Yarmolenko is a trap. What's wrong with Yarmolenko? Genuine question. I'd like to know what West Ham fan thinks. I was asking Suj earlier. Suj told me if he does well, I have to give him a shout on the stream. If he does badly, I'm not allowed to blame him. Is what he told me. Yeah. No bigger FPL cliche than claiming a player as a trap. What is wrong with Yarmolenko? Nothing. That's what. I mean, if I remember right, Yarmolenko was doing okay before he got injured. Obviously, if he has got a bad injury record, that's annoying. I don't know. I looked at the underlying stats between him, Lamella, and McGinn. He came out on top. I've not delved too much into that to see kind of if all the stats came in one game, etc. I need to do that. I've got so much to do tomorrow. There's no way I'm going to get all this done. I'm so glad. I literally cannot do a deadline stream this week, so I've got to be honest. I'm so happy about that. I don't think I could take the stress of doing this team on a deadline. So it looks like Alexander-Arnold might go up tonight. Firmino, Pope, Salah. So they're all in my team. De Bruyne and Pookie. Tomori as well could go up. I might put him in instead of Diop, just in case I decide to keep him. Although Diop is on 80% as well. And then who am I looking at as falling? Yeah, Hayden's on like 40% to rise. So I'm going to keep him in. And Dendonka might fall. We just don't know. Socrates is a short, clean sheet. That is crazy talk. I mean, is Socrates even going to still be playing soon? I'm really interested in Arsenal. Tierney, Bellerin back now. And then Holding could play. Chambers could play. I don't even know if Socrates is guaranteed, to be honest. Not in the next few weeks. So Arsenal's interesting to me. The problem is now. Say my delivery's improved. Thank you. Yeah, the old streams are awful. Let's be honest. I watched the first few back a few times, and it's like this. Like, yeah, Otamendi's pretty good. I might get him. And then there's I might want an Arsenal player. They're not really doing too well. Clean sheets. But they might do well soon, so that's good. But yes, delivery I think has improved somewhat. Hopefully, that's the aim. Always improve on these streams. But yeah, obviously one of the differences now between my previous team again, and I will promise, if I can make you one promise, I will try and stop referring to my old team. It's going to take a few weeks, okay? You're going to have to bear with me. But the one big difference now is I can't have 3 kind of 5.5 to 7 million defenders, like Trent, Otamendi, and like Digne. Because if I'd done that, I could have had one of the Arsenal defenders in at some point. But I probably don't need to worry about Arsenal defenders right now. That's kind of what I was trying to get to. It took a long time to get there. Looked a little weak with Firmino and Aguero. Yeah, absolutely. Hit the buffers. The very first stream. 36 people watching. I know. I think the first stream had about 50 people. All right, I'm sorry. We're buffering now. Look, I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for... I mean, it feels like this went on for weeks. I mean, really, it was only 4 days. But it felt like a lifetime. So thanks for kind of sticking by me. All the messages and all that good stuff. Like the stream if you haven't already. Subscribe if you're new around here. We'll be back to normal with stuff next week. So I think there's a Monday game. I think Arsenal, Man United Arsenal is Monday. So we'll probably stream after that. After Man United have beaten Arsenal 5-0. We'll come and stream then. And then back to normal content after that. I think I'm going to drop the points prediction video. I just don't know if I want to keep doing basically 2 streams and 3 videos a week. That's 5 bits of content every week. This isn't full time for me, so I'm probably going to drop that video. Didn't do it this week. I think the preview's good because it's different topics. I think the team selection's good. People like watching that, and 2 streams. I think that's cool. So yeah, thanks very much. We're back to normal next week. I'll try and stop saying my old team. I'll confirm my wildcard. You might see a video tomorrow. You might see a stream tomorrow. I don't know. You won't see anything on Saturday, but I'll try and confirm my team somewhere on Twitter if needed. But it's pretty much going to be what you see on the screen, apart from I'll get a 4.4 million midfielder in.